This past season, one of our players, a captain, asked if we could install a man-up set play that they had been running in their club ball season called Cheddar. Now, Cheddar revolves around one or two looks, and I usually don't like running man-ups that really focus on hitting specific looks because during the spring season, there's a lot more scouting than there is in the club ball season. And so a lot of times, if you do put in a specific man-up that focuses on hitting one thing, other coaches are going to scout it and then they're going to try to take it away. And, I really like the idea of reading and reacting and using kind of wheels and rotations more so. But for our group, that wasn't really working at the time. And so we did end up installing this Cheddar set play. Now, when we went into the first game of the season, we were all gung-ho ready to run it. We'd hit it a couple times against our defense when they weren't really expecting it, because once you know those one or two looks, even our defense, in practice would stop it. But so we went into our first game against Corner Canyon, and they ran a 5-man pressure zone against us, the one that the last video was about, and they completely took us out of what we were trying to do, because once the players had sticks in their hands, the idea of what they had to do kind of went out the window, and so we went back to the reading reacting out of our 3-3. Now after that game, we decided that we did want to run something that was more methodical in terms of having, specific looks that we wanted to hit, but instead of having one or two, we made it like 6 or 7. And so we came up with a play called Pepper Jack that uses a couple of very simple motions and then has a lot of looks in succession. Now, the reason why this worked really well for us was because a player's ability to not really focus in on just having those one or two looks where they may try and force it in there. Instead, because they know we have 4 or 5 looks coming down the line, they're a lot more likely to step in and then move the ball on to the next player who has their looks instead of trying to jam it into those ones that don't usually work. And so as we move through this video, we're going to talk not only about the Cheddar and Pepper Jack set plays, but kind of how I ended up creating this play for our specific players and how you can create a specific motion that's going to work for your players. What's going on, everybody? I'm Patrick from POWLAX, where we create confident coaches because confident coaches create great environments for players. And in this video, I'm excited to share with you the Cheddar and Pepper Jack set plays. So we're going to head right into Lacrosse Lab. Now, if you have the POWLAX Digital Playbook or POWLAX Gold membership, you are going to go to Man Up, Man Down, Man Up, and then all the way down here to Cheddar. Now, this is the set play that my player brought me, and so we're going to start in an open set. We are going to swing the ball counterclockwise, and the play is going to begin as the ball is passed from A1. So once A1 passes the ball to A2, A2 and A3 are kind of going to move over so that we can get the ball from one side of X to the other very efficiently. Now, after A1 passes the ball, he's going to cut the middle so that he's really kind of cutting to A3 as he reaches this other side. Now, this is basically just a distraction cut, and we are really working for this seal and kind of pop over the top for these two here. Now, M1 needs to be your best kind of inside finisher, and then M2 is going to be your step down shooter. Now, as the ball is passed back, we are picking on a defenseman who's going to be up here in kind of the top left area, because the low left defenseman should come out to play A2 as the ball gets there. And now we should have one defenseman here who has to choose. Am I going to stay with the player that's picking me, or is he picking me because the shooter is going to take the shot up top? And most of the time, you'll see they fly out to what they think is the shooter, and that is going to leave M1 wide open on the crease, who is going to end up shooting. Now, I actually don't have any clips of us running Cheddar to perfection this year because we moved on to Pepper Jack because it worked so much better after that. But so this is the same type of play that the same coach ran like 5 years ago against one of the teams when I was at Grandview. And this was early in the season. We hadn't actually seen this, but they're going to do the same type of thing. Essentially, they're going to cause commotion on whether the ball is going to be on one side or the other using a fake flip, and then they're going to feed the seal. So as the ball swings around, the ball gets to X, and now these two are just doing this hidden ball trick, so we don't know what's happening. Now, if you draw out to this side versus that side with both players, it doesn't really matter that it's a hidden ball trick because you're drawing down this player here and this player here. Now, as this lefty comes out, it is a little distracting, and who knows if the player inside might have picked him up if not. but we have this seal that you can see right here. Now, as the player comes out, you'll see our player rushes over the top to the shooter, and he leaves this player wide open here on the crease. So same basic idea. We're going to have the seal and have a player come over the top, and then he's going to slip through to the crease. Now, you'll notice that because they're in a 2-3-1 to start, we've got a player on the crease here, and he kind of backs out and takes the attention of the defenseman who is on the crease with him. But so that's essentially just to make sure that the crease player doesn't play the slip. But if you're in an open set, you shouldn't have that issue anyway because the other player is going to be top center. Now we're going to head back to Lacrosse Lab where we're going to check out the Pepper Jack set play. So in Lacrosse Lab, we're going to go to man up, man down, man up, and then Pepper Jack is just below what we would do versus a lock off. Now, as we head into the set play, we are now going to be in an open set to start, and so that's basically to make sure that nobody occupies the crease. And so we should have 5 players above the goal most of the time. They shouldn't play X much, but this play actually mitigates the danger of not being able to do anything if you do have someone who presses your hands at X like what happened with Corner Canyon. But so first, we're going to talk about our personnel and where they start. So our quarterback is going to start top right. He is the player that we trust to make good decisions. He can step in and shoot. He can distribute the ball really well, and he should be one of your best players. Next, we have our righty sniper. That's going to be top center, and he should be our player that can just, shoot the dickens out of the ball. Next, we have our lefty player. This is a player who can feed lefty. They're naturally left-handed, so they can make some quick, really good plays left-handed. Then we have our lefty sniper. This is someone who just, can shoot the dickens out of the ball, but is left-handed. Next, we have our inside finisher. Should be a righty for this direction. Then we have another righty player. Doesn't have to be your best player, but this is just another player that's going to be right-handed. Now we're going to get into actually running the play, and we're going to start by swinging the ball counterclockwise. Now, as the ball swings, we're in a wide set, so nobody's in our hands, and if they try to get in our hands, there's going to be basically nothing there for them, and they're just going to run themselves all over the field. Now, once the lefties throw the ball to X, they're going to get to the lefty shooter spot and the lefty pipe, respectively. Now, once the ball hits X, this is where we really begin to start our first play. Now, our first look is always to check this pipe, and it's because it's usually a place where if you're in an open set, they're basically covering 5 above the goal. And so we're going to see if we can draw in this position, maybe throw a fake, get this low defender to bite towards the right and then get underneath and score, or use kind of a give and go with that righty player on the right to manipulate this low defenseman. Now, it's not something that we're going to look for every single time. We might just pass up the wing on occasion, but it is something that if they're expecting you to just throw it up the wing every time and you can throw that fake, you can easily have your player turn underneath. Now, once the ball hits the QB, we're going to be running 3 separate motions. First is our inside finisher is going to do a high arcing cut at about 10 to 12 yards above GLE. The QB and the righty sniper are going to run a twist, which is essentially just a carry and a shallow cut. The righty player is going to get to the right pipe, and then the lefty 2 players are going to run an exchange or a mumbo, where the lefty player is going to cut the middle over the top of the lefty sniper, who's going to move out to the lefty sniper spot. Now, as the QB carries over the top, he's going to have a plethora of looks. If he draws the player from the righty sniper, he can throw to the righty sniper. He can skip it through to the righty player. He can hit the inside finisher as he comes up above GLE. And then he can also throw the ball forward to the lefty shooter. Now, once the lefty shooter catches the ball, he can then shoot it. He can also look inside of the inside finisher again, and then he can pass it down to the lefty player. Now, once the lefty player catches it, he then can look inside to the inside finisher, and this is the one that we scored most of the time because we have a player who is coming down at the goal. So as we threw this ball inside, the righty could easily just catch it and finish. Now, if this wasn't there, we would then throw the ball through X, and then we would essentially try to attack this righty pipe again, whereas the righty player carried up the field. It pushed the righty sniper up a little bit, and then we tried to curl or use some give and go tactics with the inside finisher, who would then end up moving into the crease. So the inside finisher is going to start at X. Once he passes to the right, he's going to follow the ball all the way around, coming up to about 10 to 12 yards above GLE. As the ball hits the low pipe here, he's going to cut back down, go through X again, this time without the ball, and then press this pipe on the far side before coming back in to the crease. Now, if you would like to see this play drawn out on a piece of paper instead of digitally or through the video that we're going to get to in a minute, definitely head to POWLAX.com, where you can become a member for $5 per month, and you essentially get access to all of the playbook PDFs that accompany all of these videos that people can watch for free. And so this is my time to say thank you to all of the POWLAX members. Your support allows me to do this and allows me to create content that anybody can watch anywhere. So I really appreciate it. If you would like to become a member, the memberships account is right over here. For $5, you gain access to my entire playbook. You can download the playbook, print it out, put it in your playbook, and you can have it forever. So now let's get into the live videos. So as we begin the live clips, the first thing we're going to show is the overview of the entire play and how we can kind of like probe and see all of the looks. Then we're going to go into more of the specific looks that we actually hit during the season. So this first clip, we had to clear the ball before we ran our play. But so this is our quarterback. He's going to end up top right here. Here's our righty sniper. Here is our lefty player. Here's our lefty sniper. Here's our inside finisher. And here is our righty player. So as we get into it, you can kind of see the open formation, and we are going to start the play right away. So in man up, if you have a specific play, you're going to want to make sure everyone knows exactly when we're going, if it's first time, if it's second time, and who the initiator is. This was our initiator, was the lefty sniper here, because every time he threw to X, that was when we'd know, okay, everyone's got to move. Now, as the ball hits here and it's thrown up, notice we have a twist coming here. So our quarterback's going to get to the middle. Our righty sniper is going to get outside. Our righty is going to get to the low pipe. Our inside finisher is going to come up through the middle. And then we've got a seal and a mumbo coming out, right? So now, as he gets to the middle, we see all of our looks. Right here, he probably could have hit our righty shooter here for sure. Also, there's a look through to the backside pipe. You can see how far sloughed off he is here. He could also hit the player in the middle, and then he ends up making a good decision, stepping away and throwing the ball back. Now, once he threw the ball back, we're still in our motion if the ball comes back the other way like it did. So the ball comes forward to the lefty shooter, down, and now we have our cut the middle, and that's the look that we hit the majority of the time. I don't think we ever actually made it to the back end of the other looks throughout the year. We ended up hitting that one, I'd say 7 or 8 times throughout the year, whereas some of the other ones we only hit once or twice. But so that is our overall motion. Now in this look, this is actually the first time we ever actually ran it and hit it, and so we were still in Utah at this point, and so essentially, we've got the same exact situation. We've got our lefty right here. We've got our lefty sniper side left. Our inside finisher is at X. Our righty player is on the right side. Our quarterback is top right, and our righty sniper is top center. Now, as the ball swings, the ball gets up to top right, and we carry to the middle. We've got our twist and our righty sniper getting out underneath him, our righty player coming to the right pipe, our inside finisher getting up into the middle of the field, and then our backside seal and our mumbo out. Now, as he sees that our righty sniper is covered, he immediately throws forward, who immediately throws down, and now we hit our inside finisher who's cutting down at the lefty inside, and once again we score. Now in this next one, we're going to find the exact same look. This time we do check this righty pipe, throw it up, get our twist, our inside cutter, throw the ball forward, down, and then he hits the player who is right in on the crease. Now, really having that really strong right-handed inside finisher helped us a ton, obviously, and so those are the 3 that we hit, and then we didn't really end up getting to that backside very much in terms of having him come all the way back through and around X again, but it was a part of our overall system where that's what we would have done if that wasn't there. So the next video I'm going to show you is some of the other looks that we can find within that offense. So the first one is checking the pipe, right? So if a team has scouted you and they know that you're trying to swing the ball in a specific way, if you can go out of that to attack the goal by, say, throwing a fake and then turning the corner and scoring, you absolutely should. Because this player on the corner here, he thought for sure that this player was going to pass the ball out to the wing because that's what we had showed every single time. Now, as he throws this fake and this guy goes out and he just turns the corner and scores, that's just a lacrosse IQ play that we could make anytime, but we've got to know that we can test it. Now, I remember in this game, I had just kind of sent them in on the field, and I was addressing something that had happened on the last play on the sideline, and we had just scored, and I didn't even actually watch the play, so it was really cool to kind of see him do that after the fact. So the next one we have is on our twist. So as the ball swings up and around, and our quarterback catches the ball, and we have our twist. Here, we actually had our inside player in already, but as this player comes across to the middle of the field, if no one picks him up and he can shoot from range, he absolutely has the ability to take that shot if he feels that that's the best look. Now, like we mentioned earlier, the pass forward to the lefty sniper and then down and then into the center, the, 1 to the 4 to the 5, that look was our best look. And so when he started to think that he could make that play every time, it didn't work out as well as it did when, you just got to pick your spots, right? And that player's got to know when to pick his spots. Now, in this video, we're going to show how if you have a really good righty sniper who scores a couple goals, it's going to open up your twist action to throw it through to the right pipe. So as the ball hits our quarterback and he carries to the middle, our righty sniper is going to shallow cut out to that right shooting spot. Now, our sniper had like 3 goals this game, I think, and so as he gets out into space, they rotate this defenseman up really, really fast. And so as our quarterback reads that, he then skips it all the way through to the backside pipe, and we just get a nice, easy dunk. In our final clip, we're going to show how we can feed the inside finisher from the twist, so essentially from top center into the crease, and then how ultimately, once the ball gets to that lefty sniper, if you got a good lefty shooter, he can shoot the ball too. So we test the corner, throw the ball up, ball comes up again. Now, as he's coming to the middle, you'll see our inside finisher is wide open. He receives the pass and then just gets stuffed. I think he hit the goalie right in the leg. So the ball squirts out again, and now we're still in our active motion. So we were lucky enough to have 2 players who could kind of quarterback. Now, our righty shooter was the righty shooter, but if he ever ended up top center, that was fine too. So now they just twist again, and we're still in our motion. Now, as he throws forward, they got a short stick here, and our lefty shooter just, rings that top right corner just to perfection. But so the main point behind this video is not necessarily to run this specific play, but it's to analyze your team and find a specific set of movements or motions that can incorporate at least 6 players in valuable spots for them, so that as players step into positions where they may be used to try and force the ball inside to a look that they thought that they had to hit, that now they understand that there are 2 or 3 looks down the line where instead of taking that, 40% chance to jam it inside, they know that we've got like a 60% shot later and an 80% shot later, so that they're not always feeling like they have to make a play. And remember, analyze your players, know what your players are good at so that you can put them in the spot that they will be best at, because it worked really well for us. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you guys thought down in the comment section. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and share this video with anyone who you think would find it valuable. If you'd like to become a member, go to POWLAX.com, and the $5 silver membership will give you access to all of the playbook PDFs. The gold $25 membership will give you access to the POWLAX digital playbook that you can then share with your team with a Lacrosse Lab account. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Have a good one. I will see you in the next one.